Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Kingdom Come Deliverance, Blind. I'm going back to Merhojed because there has been an attack by the bandits, and apparently it has been pushed back and one of the bandits was taken captive. I'm supposed to question him. Most of my side quests as of now are all centered around Sasau, which I will... Oh, come on. I will wait until the game, the main quest sends me to Sasau, and then I'll take care of all of those side quests alongside the actual main quest that sends me to that place. But there is also a band of mercenaries somewhere. Go to Kuno's encampment. It's supposedly somewhere pretty close. Okay, I'm currently over here, so I need to turn left at the shrine. That's a band of mercenaries employed by Sir Radzig to deal with the bandits. And while I'm here, I might pick up their quest, because obviously this way... Are those the bandits? Or is it just a wayfarer? Oh, it's a wayfarer. Because this way, maybe I'll be going by the whatever objective they give me. So this way I can sort of do it alongside the other things.
I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sir Kuno. Sir Kuno? Baron Rychwald. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers, Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got round to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You put them out of a pile of shit. And they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh, yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. Well, as I said to Radzig, I want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure. No problem, Chief.
Oh, we're fighting with actual hard steel. That's rather risky.
Oh dear, did that hurt? You fucked up there. God! Oh, it'll all be over with you soon. Yeah, but... You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
Sir Radzig told me the Rychwald family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool and your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rychwald Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz. And my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Well, nobles can be very devout sometimes.
Not my old man. He cursed like a tanner's hand. More than once, he threatened to take a whip to our parish priest. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window. I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. Then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near a Kovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you could turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
Okay, that's quite a story.
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling to Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later, word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the third time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fella nearly every time he was right, and the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Bearman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, a pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching? For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko, when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. But wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Merhojed, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after. But of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stefan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Bearman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. A man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk.
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
To be honest, that is still kind of dangerous, because he could, like, obviously most people are illiterate, but technically speaking, he could be literate, and he could be like a spy for someone, or, you know, to be honest, they don't even know, from this story it seems, they don't know anything about him. They were just impressed with his fighting ability, but that in itself doesn't make a person trustworthy.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
You're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough.
Okay, I won't ride out on patrol yet, because I think I should be doing that main quest. There is a prisoner that needs questioning. It seems to me he might not be waiting forever. Like, I would like to do the main quest. Maybe there is at some point some main quest that requires particular preparation, and then I can justify this sidetracking as that preparation. For now, I do need to actually pause for a second, so be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I will actually talk with all of his companions, if I can.
Can you tell me something about yourself, Jan?
Why not? I haven't been to confession for a while.
You and Petter seem very close.
As brothers should be, lad.
To tell the truth, I'd never have guessed the 2 of you came from the same mother.
Oh, we've got the same ma, all right. I ain't got no ma, and neither does he. And the same goes for our pa. It's probably Satan himself.
Oh. I'm a bit confused. You're not actually brothers.
We might be. We might not. A band of mercenaries found us in a village when I was still a baby, and Petter hardly walking. Playing in the dirt together we was. Their leader took a shine to us for some reason. He took us away and raised us up. Raised us with swords for playthings and ale for mother's milk. A few years later, he was killed in Saxony. The band fell apart, but we joined another right away. That's the way it's been ever since, over and over.
So you 2 never had... well,
A normal life. We ride from one fight to another, risking our necks and killing who they pay us to kill. That's normal for us. Always has been.
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
It's nothing new for me and my brother. We've been fighting for coin since we were old enough to carry swords. Last time we rode with one Lombardian by the name of Collini. All over Bavaria, Austria and that.
What happened? Did you fall out?
Nah, we just wanted to come back to Bohemia. You know how it is. When no one understands a word you say, it ain't worth a damn.
Okay. Okay, just talk to him. Let's try finding his brother. Oh, maybe I can play dice with him. That's Sir Kuno.
Henry, I want to have a word with you.
Okay, this guy wants to...
I want to talk to you.
Sure.
What is it, Jakey?
The stone wants to talk with you, if you can call it that. Probably about that ring.
What ring?
Ah, no one told you about it. The fellas call it the Ring of Bachus. It's a kind of game we play. Kuno gave us this ring. It's just a worthless bauble. But when we're at the tavern, Kuno pays everything for the man who has the ring. So we steal the ring from each other and try to trick each other. Well, actually, just the others. They won't let me play. Kuno says I'm too young to get boozed up.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't have the ring, so why does the stone want to see me?
He probably wants you to steal it from someone. Since you're new, the fellows will talk to you, and it won't be suspicious.
All right. I'll have a word with him. Hey, Jakey, can you tell me something about yourself?
Want to get matey, eh? Sure, Henry. What do you want to know?
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
Well, I used to be a baker's hand in Prague, but all the other fellas were always on my back, always swearing at me. Sometimes they even beat me up, took everything I had. To make a bit of coin, I started going to the tavern across the road, entertaining the rich gents with jokes, playing the fool. Sometimes someone would throw me a half-groschen. One time, Kuno turned up there, and I got to talking with him. When I told him all the shit I was getting at the bakery, he offered to take me with him.
I bet you were glad to get out of there.
Yeah, though it's not like they give me much peace here either. It's all,
Jakey, come here. Jakey, go there. Jakey, get that.
How come they bullied you at the bakery? It's usually the shy ones bullies pick on. That's not exactly you.
not now maybe. I learned a thing or two since then.
Oh, come on, you shy? You just said you were playing the fool and telling jokes in the tavern.
All right, I'll tell you the truth. They picked on me because I'm an orphan. The parish priest of St. Apollinaires in Prague found me as a baby in the church one winter's morning. I spent half my childhood in parish houses and half on the street.
I see. That must have been tough.
It still is tough, I can tell you that.
Well, surely you can't be any worse off here than in the bakery.
No, only at the bakery, the worst I ever got was a beating. It's not like my life was in danger, but here, when those Bearman brothers are drunk, I have to keep well out of sight.
Okay, speaking of the Bearman brothers, where is the other guy? The other brother? That's Dangler. That's just a wayfarer.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Why do they call you Dangler?
Because Kuno found me dangling on the end of a rope.
Ah, I see. So, he saved you from execution?
I wouldn't call it an execution exactly. At the time I was squire to the Lord of Buzitz. There was a proper knight for you, full of ideals and honour. I looked up to him as a hero. Then in one skirmish he was killed, and the foe took me captive. They stood me on a shaky wooden cross with my hands tied behind my back and a noose around my neck, for amusement. Then they rode off laughing.
But how long were you stuck there?
I couldn't tell you. Hours, maybe days. In the end, everything started going black. I could feel the devil pulling me down by the legs.
Jesus! How on earth did you survive?
I didn't. when Kuno found me. He says I was dead as a doornail. They cut me down, took the rope off me. Then someone gave me a kick and I coughed and came back to life. Sort of.
Okay, that's quite a story as well. But I still don't know where the other Bearman brother is. Okay, he's here.
Tell me something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Your brother was saying you rode before with some Kalini fella.
We did he? Did he tell you why we finished with him?
Yeah, he said you missed Bohemia.
Ha ha! Miss Bohemia! That's good! Ha ha ha! But it ain't far from the truth. Jan missed any place where he wouldn't have a band of furious Italians looking to skin him alive.
Ah. He did something to anger them.
Oh, aye. While Collini was away, he broke into the trunk where the coin was kept. Took it all and wagered it with a fellow who claimed his bear knew how to dance. And lost it all.
What? The bear really did dance?
Aye. The costliest Chardash we ever watched. We had to get the fuck out of there before Collini came back and had the two of us dancing. On the end of a rope.
How did you and Jan end up with Kuno?
Me and my brother been riding with coinmen since we was little. This was just another mercenary band for us. But Kuno seemed like a decent kind of fellow who'd treat us fair.
Okay, so I think that only leaves Stephen and the stone. I could probably play dice with him, which I think I will.
Stefan, can you tell me something about yourself?
What is it you want to know, youngster?
I'm curious how you ended up in Kuno's band.
You noticed I don't exactly fit in with this pack of felons and reprobates, huh? Unfortunately, you can't always choose your company, can you?
No, I suppose not. But how did you come to be with them?
Oh, well, I'd love to tell you, but Kuno insisted we keep that between the two of us. And I'm not one to break a confidence.
Oh. But, well, Kuno said it was you who wanted to keep it secret.
Really? Are you sure about that? You must have misunderstood him.
No, I don't think so. At least... Oh, never mind. So, where did you live before? What did you do?
I used to live in a town before. Back there I was doing something very different. Although, now I think of it, maybe it wasn't that different in a way. If you know what I mean.
Actually, I haven't the foggiest idea what you mean. You don't give anything away, do you?
Me? I'm an open book, lad. Ask me anything you like, and I'll give you an honest answer. Go on.
Maybe another time. My head's starting to spin.
As you wish. Shame, though. There's nothing I enjoy more than conversing.
Okay, let's play dice.
Care to try your hand at dice?
Now, I have a bunch of special die at this point. Like this has a favor loaded in favor of odd numbers, which is exactly what you need to play this game, because obviously 1 and 5 are both scoring numbers, so I think I will use this one as well. Yeah.
Why, oh why did I ever agree to this? I'll lose my shirt again!
Well, that's an opening, if I ever saw one.
We'll see. Cursed luck!
This is pretty great too. Okay, this is insanely good. Oh, damn it, I should have rolled again, because then you get a whole new set, right? If you roll all of the dice.
Should I? Shouldn't I?
And to be fair, his roll was pretty great as well. Yeah, I can roll again.
By Christ. I've fallen your way and no mistake.
Although I don't need to, right? Because I have enough to win.
Kurva! Why the hell did I even start playing?
Well, I don't know, but where is the stone? That's Jakey. That's Sir Kuno. Oh, he's right here.
Jakey sent me to you. Something about a ring?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you want me to get it from someone?
Mm-hmm.
Who has it?
Would that be Dangler? Because he was like gesturing at his throat.
Does Dangler have it?
Hmm.
Alright. How should I get it?
Well, so he's leaving it open to my sort of personal invention, I guess. Let's start talking by talking to the Dangler. Maybe I can swindle it out of him somehow.
Hey, I want the Ring of Bachus. I heard you have it.
So you come and ask me for it? Well, that's a novel approach.
Well, you don't just have to steal it from each other. Why not play for it?
No, I don't play dice, but we can duel for it.
Oh, sure. Sure. That's even better. Because I won't have to steal it and I won't feel bad. I will win it fair and square.
Alright. Why not?
I'll wager the ring, and you put up some groschen, alright?
Sure. I'll wager that.
That'll do it. Well, now it's something worth fighting for. You better watch out. Oh, fucking hell! Bring it on! Oh, fair fight. Well, I don't like giving it up. Well, at least I won't get so plastered next time. Just watch how it doesn't get pinched.
I'll do that. Thanks.
Yeah, I actually don't particularly want it. I want to give it back to the stone, because obviously then I suppose he'll like me more, and maybe I'll get like another quest to do. Where was he? He was like crouching near a tree somewhere. Where is he? Supposedly like down the road from the main encampment. What would he be doing so far? Maybe they were on patrol?
I got the ring from Dangler. Yeah, well, I suppose there's not much more either of us can say about it. Yeah, thanks to you too.
Silence is golden and other myths. Number 4. So that's kind of maybe ties in to what I was saying, because it seems he is literate. What need would he have for a book, if not for reading that? Skillbook on speech can be only read after achieving level 15, which I don't have. I have like 12 at the moment. Okay, but I think I'm ready to actually continue to Merhojed, because I want to engage with this DLC at this moment. I want to do at least the current main quest and see how it sort of develops from there. Yeah, there's still damage from the attack visible. Dead horses and like smoke. Oh, wait a second. Is there like pestilence in a plague in this village? Because this house seems to be condemned, right? that's what they did? They marked houses of the plague victims? In that case, might be not the best idea to be sneaking around. Yeah, that guy does kind of look... That does kind of seem to be sick.
Sweet Mother of God.
Okay, can't talk to him. Yeah, but they do seem to be sick, kind of. Please let it end. Yeah, okay. So, it does seem to be the plague going on?
No, clear off. Let me sleep.
Okay. Yeah, as if the bandit attack wasn't enough for them. Okay, nobody seems to be looking, so I might pick those just for training.
Good health to you.
What's happened here?
Things are bad. Very bad. First we get attacked by them brigands, barely come out of that alive. And now, the plague.
Plague, you say?
Indeed so. Something's up with the village. Even the livestock are dying. It's a gruesome sight.
Who attacked you?
I don't know. Some bandits. Ever since Scullets was raised, they've been marauding the whole province.
Did you put up a fight?
We most certainly did. Once Melchiar heard young Straw shouting to the hills, he handed everyone a pitchfork or a flail, and we ambushed the bastards.
Good on you. How did it turn out?
We gave them what for until they turned tail and ran. But they cut up young Straw, something awful. He didn't live to see morning.
Who are Melchiar and Straw?
That's right, you're not from around here, are you? Melchiar's the one looking after things round here now. Before that, it was down to Smill from the Neuhoff stud. But they killed him that time they raided the place. And young Straw is the son of Andrew, a local woodcutter. Or was, I should say. The bandits saw to that. His old man isn't taking it well.
Where will I find Melchiar?
If you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, Melchiar's is the house on the left.
I'd like to talk to Straw.
I see. Well, if you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, you'll see Straw's house on the right.
I heard the bandits didn't get very far here, though.
Luckily, young Straw saw them still over by the cross and woke the whole village. We even captured one. He's tied up now at Melchiar's place. But then, the disease came.
I'm looking for Matthias. He works as a stable hand at the stud farm.
Matthias. The brigands got him, poor lad. He's lying wounded at the stud.
Tell me more about this plague. It sounds terrible.
Worse than you can imagine. The whole stud, livestock, sheep, chickens, all dead or dying. No doubt the people will be next. Melchiar's old woman's taken to her bed, and it doesn't look good. Straw's wife and brother. More and more.
I'm sorry to hear it. Thanks. That'll be all for now.
Take care now.
I need to talk to that captive.
Sorry, no one's allowed inside. Melchiar's orders.
But I'm Sir Radzig Cobbler's envoy, and I urgently need to question the captive.
I don't care if you're the Pope's envoy. I can't let you in. If you want to talk to the captive, you have to get permission from Melchiar. Good luck to you.
Okay. To be honest, it's pretty weird that they seemingly are willing to defy Sir Radzig. Like, that's just some random village in the middle of nowhere. Like, it doesn't seem to be that prominent of a place. Okay, that's Straw, but apparently he doesn't want to talk.
Oh, leave me be. I want to sleep.
Okay, maybe they won't notice if they are laying down dying. I would like to pick that just for practice. Okay, there's someone praying.
Christ, such a senseless waste.
Ah, praying over her dead,
What am I to do now without you?
well, husband probably.
Huh?
Okay, that would be very rude.
Why?
It would be very rude to interrupt that with some lockpicking. So I might instead lockpick this door.
Hey, where's your torch? You can't walk around here in the dark.
Okay. Seeing how I don't actually plan on doing any stealing, that's probably not going to be a problem. Although I guess technically speaking, I do plan on breaking into places, but only for practice.
Brother? Are you here? No. You're off.
Stop!
Stop!
Why you...
Go away. Leave me alone.
You're scarlet.
So apparently Matthias is in the stables? Which is weird because I was there and I didn't see him. There's a big fire as well. Let's check that. Is that the fire where they are burning? Yeah, they're probably burning the bodies of like the people who have died and of the cattle that has died from the plague as well, right? Because that's sensible to limit the spread of it. Okay, it's over here. Would he even notice if I opened some of those chests?
Christ! A thief! People! A thief! Help! Arrest that thief!
Well, he got
Guard!
He got all better.
Guard! Come here quick! There's a thief over there!
Hey, you! Don't move a
Thief!
muscle. You were seen picking a lock. Well, you won't forget this in a hurry, because it'll take a nice pile of coin to fix it.
Let me try persuasion, although my charisma is like way higher than his, so by all means this should be the best option, but whenever I tried as of late, it never worked.
This is surely no way to treat one of Sir Radzig's men. I dread to think what he'll do when he finds out.
Try your fairy tales on someone else.
Oh well, I guess I have to pay.
Damn it. Here's your coin then.
You paid for your crimes. I hope you've learned your lesson. And hand me over those stolen goods.
I see a thief! Guard!
Okay, so apparently he got all better. Will he now go back and lie down? Okay, this is hilarious.
Are you Melchiar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Sir Radzig won't help us with that. Any more than he helped us when we were attacked.
No one could have known what would happen.
If Sir Radzig hadn't pissed off into the woods and stayed in the camp, they would never have dared attack us.
If Sir Radzig hadn't gone into the woods, he'd have left so many to attack here that you'd never have fought them off.
It makes no odds now. We've a different problem to deal with.
If there's anything I can do, just tell me.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
It might have crossed your mind to send someone there sooner.
People are barely venturing outside their own homes, they're so scared. And word has got around that the plague is raging here. If someone met us wandering about, well, I'd fear the worst. And besides, you're the envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla himself. Your word will carry more weight in the monastery than some lowly peasants.
Very well. I'll go to the monastery. It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us, the prisoner's got the pestilence too. He'll die without help.
If I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Very well. I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses, but don't stay too long in those homes.
That I can promise you.
God be with you.
Okay, so the monastery is near Sasau, right? So I guess the game is sending me there after all.
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
He took me into his garrison.
Hal, the blacksmith's boy, in the service of his lordship. Who'd have ever thought it? My luck hasn't been so good.
You survived. That's something to thank God for.
True enough. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. There's some disease spreading.
Disease?
Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid. First the horses got sick, then other animals, and now people are falling ill too.
Oh, damn! Can I ask you a bit about Merhojed?
I haven't been here long enough to learn much, but ask away.
Where does Melchiar live?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Melchiar lives in the left-hand one.
What's Melchiar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill used to be in charge here, but he was killed in Neuhof.
I know.
Sir Hanush hasn't had time to appoint a new vassal, and folk need someone to speak for them, so they picked Melchiar.
Thank God you had someone here who could take the reins.
Aye.
Where can I find this straw?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Straw lives in the right-hand one.
Can you tell me something about old Straw?
He's a woodcutter, tough as they come, and a hothead. He's been out of his mind since his boy died.
It's normal to grieve, though.
Depends how you look at it. Folk are afraid he'll snap or drink himself to death. What's worse, his wife caught the sickness, and he's not taking care of her.
About this sickness. Who's ill now?
I don't know. What with my arm the way it is, I don't go outdoors much. But I know Melchiar and Straw has sick ones at home.
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some are throwing their guts up, and others are spewing from the other end.
Has anyone died from it?
Aye, old Verba. Although he was already on his last legs, so no one knows for sure if it was the plague that got him. Either way, the animals are dropping like flies, and people will end up the same for sure.
When did this plague start?
The day after the raid. The horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew something was up. By afternoon, they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after the other, and then people.
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed bandits?
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melchiar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could. Pitchforks, axes, flails, and we went out to face them.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torch it. But even the women here were armed with what they could find, and they took the bastards by surprise.
Can you describe the raiders?
I don't know. They came at dusk, so you couldn't see their faces. About 20 of them. They weren't humans, though. They spoke Czech.
You talked to them?
No. They were shouting at us. They were very sure of themselves to begin with, but when we hit them in the woods, they didn't look so brave.
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melchiar let him have it over the head with a flail, and now he's locked up in the barn. But be careful.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young Straw, and his old man's sharpening his sickle for him. Melchiar still hasn't decided what to do with him.
I understand old Straw wants revenge, but first I have to question that bandit. What happens after is no skin off my nose.
Good luck, then.
Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt?
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly broken, but better than a broken neck.
Shame I can't help. I have some perks for, like, healing, first aid, but apparently I can't utilize them in this instance. Now, this episode has been long enough, so I am going to drink Savior Schnapps, and I am going to end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!